It's the White Sea and Chris Shaw SA Bros.
Yes. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to SA Bros. Chris, goeienaand, good on. How you doing, brother?
My bro, lekker. I actually managed to see you in a crowd today while filming a little video, a little documentary for our channel. And that went quite smooth. And I know you guys have been checking it out, listening to the song and stuff. And thank you for all your support on that video. And then we've got the magic, bro, tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
The beginning of our power lineup. One of the, you know what, my favorite South African band, hands down.
Yeah, it's this week is just music. Normally we have it mixed up between comedy, sport, with Ross the other day, the Springbok, and a band and so on. But this week it's rock and roll, and then we've got the legend, the DJ Costa on Friday. So guys, you're in for an absolute treat, treat. You can't go wrong. And we're gonna start off Monday, the 1st of June, day 1 of level 3 lockdown with Mr. Marco Gomes from Prime Circle.
Yeah.
So let's bring him in. How's it, Marco? How are you, brother?
How you guys doing?
How's it, bro?
Brilliant.
Thank you for having me.
Ah,
Cool,
yes,
man. Thanks for having
definitely.
me.
So what did you do today on level 3 lockdown? Did you go out and buy booze? Did you stand in those massive 10-kilometer queues that we've never seen before? Or
No,
did
I
you
was
just
actually
take
one
it
of
chill?
those- No. I actually was luckily not one of those that couldn't resist getting a drink. No, I was working, just chilling.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And what are you doing now, man? Working. When you say you're working, are you
I mean,
recording?
it's been a good time. I've been doing a lot of songwriting, a lot of stuff, and just trying to get involved in different things. Outside of music, outside of the normal, just different kind of things. I just tried my hand at different things. So I've been busy with a bunch of things. Like I say, keeping myself busy.
Is that how you've been keeping yourself busy for the entire last 2 months? Just partaking in new project and Prime Circle projects and so on? Or has there been other things you've been doing?
Like I said, I've just been writing music, just writing as much as I can, and it's not necessarily all Prime Circle. It's just a combination of everything. I've even done some loungy R&B kind of tracks. Just trying my hand at everything. Just writing and just using this time to. We don't get a time like this. We've never had time on our hands to sit and just express ourselves, and musically from morning to night. And now it's just been a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's 100% true. It's a lot of our previous guests have said so as well. That, but are you one of the people that actually from day 1 of lockdown just continued working, or did you also finish Netflix first in the first week, or?
Yeah, I think just, like everybody, the first week or two, you want to be a master chef and you want to be a this and be a that. I think everybody done that the first week or so. Then you start getting tired of it, and then you start chilling a bit more and laying on the couch a bit more. But I've been pretty consistent with like I say, with the songwriting. Pretty much from the morning I get going and try and make the best of my days.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now, just to get back onto that, what you said now, the songwriting and so on. I don't know, I'm not sure how many people know or don't know this, but I actually was not one of those people that knew, but you are the founding member of Prime Circle. Can you tell us a bit about that, how you came about starting this absolutely amazing rock and roll band and one of the best of South African history?
This is many, many years ago. I used to be in the nightclub business, and a friend of ours passed away in a accident. So we did a sort of a tribute concert to him, and we brought all these bands from everywhere, and these bands were playing. Yeah. And that's the first time I actually saw Ross. At the time, he had a band going, and I had a band going. So after his show, he came up to me, and we were just chatting about music, and he asked me, what do I think, and I was pretty honest with him. And I just said, look, you're such a great singer. You're such a great singer. I'm just not sure about the band that you're with. We should just try and do something sometime just to check it out. I had a band going, like I said, he had a band. And we did. I think it was maybe a week or so later we got together. And the rest is history. We just, on that first day, we just started banging out songs like I can't explain it. It was just like we were writing songs like as if we were always been together, if that makes any sense. And we just
Yeah.
Yeah. You
just
clicked
started writing
immediately. Yeah.
music. And I think, to be honest with you, I think within the first day or two, that's when Hello came to the table. And
Wow.
that's when so we just knew there was something special there. We knew we had a good combination of people. And we just continued, that we ended up, going parting our ways with our bands, our existing bands at the time.
Yeah.
The band that I was in at the time, majority of those guys are and still are part of Prime Circle today,
Yeah.
which is myself and Dirk.
Yes.
So it was interesting times. You're trying something, you never know if it's going to work, and you're like, what's going to stick. You're throwing a whole bunch of things against the wall, and it just really worked. It just worked.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing that it did work, and it's been working. How long has it been? About 20 odd years or so, am I right?
Yeah, end of this year, we 20 years. Our 20-year anniversary is coming up.
Ew,
Damn.
there we go.
20
Wow,
years,
that's
man.
amazing. Yes,
We were,
and tell us a bit. This is something Ross brought up a couple of weeks ago when he was on the show, that you mentioned it as well now about the nightlife, that you own nightclubs. Tell us a bit about that. How old are you now, if
Yeah.
I may ask?
I'm very young, so
Yes.
A youngster
I
owning
was
nightclubs. I like that.
Yeah.
I had a motto back in the days,
Yeah.
because we had three nightclubs, myself and my brother. We had three
Yeah.
clubs. One was in Witbank, where I had one in Nelspruit, and we had another one in Pretoria.
Yeah.
And my motto in particular, I was always a rock guy from the heart, and I never wanted to be anything else. But these clubs they couldn't have been any more rave. They were
Is it?
hardcore rave clubs, and that time, at the time, rave was the biggest thing out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had a motto, if you can't beat them, make money out of them. And
There you go.
Absolutely,
what I
man.
did.
And
I
that's
set up
where the
these rave
cash was
clubs.
at.
And I
Was
said,
those
"Mom,
damn ravers.
of course, of course. And in my heart, just sitting there night after night, but my blood was rock and roll.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Exactly.
it was quite cool. It's something that I got to meet a lot of radio DJs at the time. Where it also helped because I started slipping, our demos, and I started, just and a lot of the stuff was about, a favor for a favor. I'll give you a booking, but have a listen to the demo and see if you can get it
Yeah.
playlisted and pass it on to the right person, and so on and so on. So it was quite interesting times back then. It's very, very interesting for us. It was a strange time for rock music, but as rock music was coming, it was coming alive. It was
Oh,
about to be
yeah.
born. Amazing time,
Yeah, and you said there that your pure heart was rock and roll. I remember it's about close to 20 years ago. There was a nightclub in Northcliffe Corner, a rock club on the top roof, and downstairs there was a rave club, and there was always this tension between the two, and it was, I was always. I'm also, as you can see, always rock and roll my entire life,
Yeah.
first and foremost. That's the music. My dad brought me up on the Doors and the Stones and the Who,
The good
and
stuff.
so on. The real stuff, Deep Purple.
Yeah.
But we all went through that phase of the rave phase. So you'd go from the one nightclub into the other one, looking like a rocker, and then the ravers would go, "What the hell's going on here? Are you going to take my soul or some
Yeah.
shit?" Apparently, that's what us the rockers did, and so on. So, did you have any issues like that in Witbank at all, or with?
No,
with
we were generally cool with that. People, a lot of our real locals knew that there was a band. They knew there was always live music, and growing up in a small town, people get to know each other, and they're always known from a very young age. I've always been trying to chip away at the music, and you're playing at this club and that corner and this bar, and so they always knew. My heart was always music and rock and roll.
Yeah.
But no, I've never had any conflict with any of the ravers, if you want to call it. But it was I guess it was difficult for me because I was purely there as a business. It was just purely a
Yeah.
business. But like I mentioned earlier on, it was just the contacts I made from it. It was absolutely amazing, and I think a
Yeah.
big part of our success today was because of that. We met one of the became a very good friend of mine was a guy by the name of Manuel Ottel, and
Okay.
he at the time was he was at Gresham Records
Yeah.
at that time. At the same time, he was also a very big South African DJ at the time.
Yeah.
And I used to book him quite often. And, you know, every time I booked him, I was just feeding him demos and, come on, check this out. And you got to give us a break. And he took the stuff back to the label.
Yeah.
And that's when the deal happened. You know, we actually got this record deal because of the situation of the clubs and bookings and that kind of thing. You know, obviously Prime Circle had to be, you know, good enough to do that. But the fact that the nightclubs opened those doors for us,
Yeah.
which was quite interesting. And I'm happy that we had the opportunities to do that. You know,
Yeah.
it's quite tough. The industry is tough as it is. So you try and source every kind of opportunity you can.
Yeah.
So needless to say, the Ravers got Prime Circle
Yeah.
our first record deal.
Well, thank God for the Ravers, dude. How many albums did you guys record through Gresham before you guys actually decided? Listen, we can do our own stuff now, and
We did
tell
two
us a bit
albums
more
with
about your
Gresham.
label too, man.
Yeah, we did 2 albums with Gresham.
Yeah.
You know, they were great. They were a great label, but I think you get to a place and you know, South Africa is not not a very big place.
Yeah.
You start realizing you can do things on your own, and you know, if you got the right distributors and the right marketing team behind you, right radio pluggers, you can do it on your own. And we realized we could do it on our own. So after our second album, we did, you know, third one came out, which was All or Nothing.
Yeah.
And we had EMI at the time, which was our we had a licensing deal with them, so marketing distribution deal with EMI,
Yeah.
and that was us sort of our starting off our, you know, getting our own way and our own flying on our own, you know,
Independence.
and,
Yeah.
independent, and it was great. It was a scary time because it was something we weren't, it was very new to us. Although we had 2 albums under our belt, but we hadn't done anything with those albums in regards to being the guys in the front line and marketing. And so it was a big step for us, and I think EMI, there was a great team behind us also at EMI at the time.
Yeah.
So it just made sense, and synergy was just right. So we just decided, you know, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, dude, obviously you've been like the business guy behind the band. You know, I know the rest of the guys are freaking. You know, I used to jam with the guys so much that I realized that some of the Oaks are also lost just rockers and Mall Oaks. You know, even Dale. Freaking, we used to live together in Kempton, and you know, you've been the business guy behind Prime Circle. Do you think that you've like taken the role as the dad in the band, if you know what I mean?
You know, I hate thinking that. You know, I think every person in the band has his strength. You know,
Absolutely.
you know, Dale. You know, man. Speaking of Dale, I mean, he's great in studio, and he's that guy, and Dale sleeps, breathes, eats music, and that's his passion. You know, if you talk about a business meeting, he's just so over it. He doesn't want to be a part of it. But talk about, you know, rehearsal, we're going to be in studio, and he's the guy for that. You know, so, you know, the guys, each one of them have their strengths, and I'll never, you know, as much as I play my role, so does the rest of the guys, and I think that's what makes Prime Circle a great team.
Yeah.
You know, everybody being there and doing their and bringing their thing to the table. You know. But you know, I guess also it's not necessarily that I've taken that role of the business side of things. I enjoy it. I really enjoy being a part of that and being, you know, handling those affairs. It's something that I enjoy, and maybe the other guys don't enjoy it so much, you know.
Yeah.
But it is something for me that I do want to do it. You know, it's not that I'm the only guy to do it. It's just I do enjoy doing it, and I always have from the very get go of Prime Circle's, you know, career back 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, like you said, when we started working together, do you remember where you started working with us back in the day, Marco? Let's see if you can remember. Ross
I do,
remembered.
Is it?
Yeah, let's see if you can.
You know, we've done a lot of things together, actually. We've done
a lot of work. But can you remember the very first time?
I don't remember the very, very first one, no.
The very first show was 2010. The FIFA fan festival at Centurion, there at Supersport Park.
Okay, right, yes.
That big, gigantic stage with the flipping 100. Yeah, that was huge.
I remember that.
Now, you know my business partner, Troy. I'm going to embarrass him quickly on the show. I don't know why I didn't mention it when Ross was on the show, but you guys rocked up. Now, you remember, I don't know if you remember, it doesn't matter. As you got to the backstage tent area, with a very big backstage tent area for everybody out there, and It was at the end of the day. You guys had the main stage, the main event, because we had smaller bands and DJs throughout the day. But you guys got before the biggest games was your Brazil, Italy, South Africa, whatever it was, at like 8 o'clock at night. And you guys got the 6:30 to 7:30 spot, and that last half an hour, people just go get beers and so on and prepare. And I think we had about 10 or 12,000 people in front of us. And we're sitting there waiting, and you guys come. I don't think you were there yet. It was Ross, Dirk, and it was Neil. And Ross walks up to Troy and he's like, "How's it? We with the band?" And Troy's like, "Oh, which band?" Now Troy didn't recognize the faces at the moment. And Ross is like, "Yeah, my name is Ross." And I don't know why Troy did this, but he's like, "Oh, are you the drummer?" Just like that. I'm like, "Dude, that fucking Ross, he's the lead singer, not the drummer.
Yeah.
The drummer, Dale, is not here yet."
Okay.
But that's where it started. Our journey with you and Standing Ovation started.
Yeah,
So
it's been many years, and it's been a great journey. You know, and we've managed to do some great shows together, and I think that's what it's about. You know, creating
Yes.
a good relationship. And
one of the best shows that you've done a lot of shows with me where our really rich clients, like seriously rich clients. I won't mention any names on the show.
Yes.
But do you remember that show we did there in Pretoria when they opened the door and there's a McLaren car and a brand new Rolls Royce standing in the guy's entrance in his house to his doors? Do you remember that show?
I do remember that one.
And we built the stage in the swimming pool.
Over the pool.
Yeah.
But
They
it, was
put
a,
the pool.
it was a perspex kind of thing where you could see through to the pool.
Yes.
Nice.
I remember
And how
that.
many people? And there was a Moet and Chandon champagne
Yeah.
fountains, and I think there was 30 people or so. That was it. It was this dude's 49th birthday party. That was it.
Do you remember that? It was a crazy show. Yeah. It was a
Yeah.
crazy show.
Yeah. But my absolute best one with you guys were, I think it was 2016, Joburg Day. Where Ross went to sing with Parlotones and Khan came to sing with you guys. Do you remember that night?
Yes.
That was when we all went afterwards back to what was the place called? Chicago. It's Chicago's now, but it was now back then it was Cisco's. That's it.
Right.
That was the best jewel I've ever had with Prime Circle, Parlotones, Goldfish, you name it. Everybody. It was just the best flipping night ever. You remember that show, huh?
Yeah, it was a great show. You know, you're talking about the Parlotones boys. You know, there's this perception that goes around the music industry or just the industry in general that we're enemies of one another, and this perception started years back. You know, where people think that we dislike each other. Obviously, we've all just sort of gone along with it, but in fact, you know, we actually all very good mates, and we know each other for many years. You know, we toured when we were starting out. Nobody knew Prime Circle, nobody knew Parlotones, and we were bands just, you know, when you just put your guitar in the car and you just hit the road, and we were doing that together as two bands. That we were touring this country year after year, you know, trying to break it and trying to get, you know, and not many people know that, but yeah, we've been around for a long time and trying to, you know, break the music scene together, you know, pretty much side by side. So we're actually great mates. So we were things that we're not enemies.
And you know, I don't want to generalize what I'm about to say, but we've had a bit of a thing on this show where the English bands, the English rock bands, are the easiest people to work with in life. I've had it at Standing Ovations for years as well. Rockers, especially English-speaking rockers like yourself, Parlotones, those guys. You guys are all so easy to work with. We do our shit and we get the show done. Where with the Afrikaans crowd, now you mentioned there people think you guys were enemies. I've never actually picked that up. I've never ever seen that. So obviously people were thinking like that. But in the Afrikaans music community, that does exist. What you said, that there's animosity between the people, and they are the most difficult people to work with as well. I'm not again going to mention names, but I've wanted two people on the show, and the one said, "No, he wants to charge me to have him on the show." I'm like,
I know what the difference is.
yeah,
And it's a mentality thing, dude. English bands think globally. So even when they're big in South Africa, it hasn't gone to their heads because they see a global market. They
Yeah.
see the world. Afrikaans guys tend to see South Africa. Once they've conquered South Africa, they are as big as they're gonna get, and I think that's what plays into the egos and stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been an Afrikaans artist, an English artist, everything, and it's a mentality thing. And I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I can't really say much for the Afrikaans and the English, but what we've noticed in the industry over the years, back when there was still channels, there was a broadcast on TV. I'm not going to mention names, but and bands used to get sort of the video playlisted, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And we would see these guys at festivals, and we would see these guys, on these bands. And the saddest thing is that they were so young to the industry, but their attitude was exactly the opposite of that. They really came with a lot of attitude.
Yeah.
And it's just sad for me to see that because, with all our travels over the last 20 years, we've got to meet and share the stage with some amazing, amazing bands, and seen some beautiful places around the world. And one of the things that we've noticed is that the bands, the bigger they are, the nicer they are, the more humble, more down to earth. They're just a bunch of nice people. There's no airs, no graces. I mean, and they're just really, it's easy people, it's easygoing people. So it's sad that that young bands don't quite understand that. And if you ask me, what's the advice I have for young bands? Just stay humble.
Yeah.
Stay humble. Work hard. Our industry is way too small for that. People talk. There's only so much management companies, and there's only so much booking agents. People talk. Just be cool.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking now a lot, and this is actually a show for our audience and so on. So let's get into the questions that they want to ask you. We've got here Rudy van der Lith. Hi, Marco. Name one or two bands that stood out for you that you guys performed with that really obviously stood out for you.
Internationally and national,
Locally,
it's a tricky question. There's so many bands have done some really, really cool things for us. One of the bands that we've managed to tour with a whole handful of times in Europe is Three Doors Down, and I think we've looked up to them in a very different way in regards to they're not just a band that we're looking up to, but just as people, as human beings, and they're a bunch of great guys, very down to earth. I think that's very important when it comes to bigger bands. One of the memories I've always there's so many, but one of them that I'll never forget. He's sharing the stage with a whole list of artists, and right at the end, Queen went on, and they were playing on "We Are the Champions," and all the artists throughout that day that performed went on stage and had to sort of sing with them. And now this has happened. This has happened twice. This has happened with Queen, and it's happened with, if I'm not mistaken, Annie Lennox. This is at a different occasion, but the Queen one in particular, I remember, and it's still today as a great memory. Because you're standing there and you're singing this iconic song that you grew up with and your parents grew up with.
Yeah.
And you're doing it with the original band. But not only that, is that whilst you're doing it, you're looking and there's thousands of people in front of you. But right to your left, at your right, there's a Will Smith and there's a this and there's a that. And I think that for me was just something that from walking on the stage till I left that stage, you just have this all over your body. This is unbelievable feeling.
Goosebumps, type thing.
So that's not necessarily a band that sort of inspired my music career, but just moments that I will always remember. That's definitely one of them.
Wow!
But as I say, bands that's inspired me in many ways, not necessarily just in music, but just again go back to the point about remaining humble, and it's definitely got to be Three Doors Down. Definitely.
Brilliant. Now, we spoke before the show started, and I showed you that Deborah spoke about she went to school with Marco Gomes. Now, I think you need to answer her question before she loses her mind. Which primary school did you go to?
I was in Robert Carruthers primary school.
Robert Carruthers. Okay, Deborah. So there you go. If you were there, then you went with this Marco to school.
Yeah.
Next question we've got from Chris Swanepoel. Hey Marco, how are your girls coping during the lockdown?
No,
Yeah.
that's the wrong question, Chris. The Chris is, how's the father coping?
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. They're
Well,
all
how
good,
are you
know.
coping with the lockdown, dude? How have you
You know,
adapted? Everything.
it's 4 girls, and then with my wife, that's 5 girls in the house. I made a mistake. I bought a male dog to
Yeah.
try and bring some kind of balance in the house. But he's such a softie. He's really such a soft dog, golden retriever. So that didn't quite work, that plan. So there's a lot of female unbalance going on in the house. So
Estrogen, yeah.
it can get difficult at times. It
Yeah.
really, really.
And you're all
But
alone, dude. You're a man of steel. Honestly, 5 women, I would lose my nut. After
You've got
listen,
2 and you're
normally
struggling.
normally I had 3 girls and a cat with no nads because his balls were taken away. So I was the only dude, and it like broke me. Sometimes I just look at him and I'm like, dude, I wish you knew because you don't understand anymore.
No, for sure. Maybe that's why I lock myself in songwriting from morning to night. Is just to
There you go. There you go. There you go.
face the reality of that, Like,
There we go. That's true. Sean Wright is asking, Marco, in the Prime Circle band, do one of you guys have a daughter that played drums? Her name is Layla.
Yes, that was our previous drummer, Gerard. He was
Yeah.
with us for the first 2 albums. And his daughter, he's a great drummer, and he taught his daughter how to play drums. And apparently she's doing wonderful. She's doing some great things.
That's awesome, man. Now,
Sure.
that's before you got Dale, that crazy drummer guy.
Crazy man. Crazy.
Yeah, oh God, dude, I really want to chat to
Dale-
him. The stories with that oak. God.
Dale, we used to play in a lot of venues back in the day, and Dale was in this cover band, and every time we did a gig, Dale's band would also play at the same time.
Yeah,
And the cool thing is that I always used to check him out. And I liked his style, I liked his drumming, and he's just such a humble, cool guy, and he used to always come to us and goes, guys, one day I'm going to play for you guys. One day I'm going to play for Prime Circle. One day I'm going to play for you. And it's weird, when we started looking for a drummer, it's just like he just popped in. His name just popped in, and like,
yeah.
we got to get this guy in. We got to get him in,
Yeah.
And he came in and he auditioned, and we loved him. I mean, in fact, we actually didn't even audition any other drummers. Dale was the first, and he got the job, and been with us ever since.
Dude, can I tell you the backstory of that? I was in the band that he was jamming with, was Seven Silence. We were still jamming, and he was living with me in Kempton. And the one day, because if we're not jamming live, we weren't really in the mood to practice unless we were in the practice room,
Yes.
And the one day, because he had an electric kit at home, the other place, and I heard him jam on the electric kit, and I'm like, dude, you're going to audition for Prime Circle because I know that beat. I know the song. And he was like, yeah, but you shouldn't tell the band. And I'm like, no, God, come clean, bro. If you get that, that's awesome. That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
And
he
you know
was-
what? It was
he
his
was,
dream to like be with you guys, man.
No,
It was
he was.
awesome.
When I first met him, he was playing, as I mentioned, in the cover circuit, but he was playing
Yeah.
with I think it's actually his brother might have been part of the band he was playing with back in the day, Rumen and his brother.
Summit,
and
yeah.
Summit, that's right. And that's when I first met Dale, and that's the time that Dale used to always come to us, and like, I'm gonna jam for you guys. I'm gonna jam for you guys.
dude.
And there was a venue back in the day called Due East in the East Rand.
Yes, I remember Juice really well.
Lovely venue. I mean, that was the live venue if you
Yeah.
want a live, because that's the venue to go to back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's when we used to bump into each other all the time.
Yeah.
Check-
You know what's
check
cool?
what Cindy
Summit
Lee-
is still going.
Yeah,
That is
sorry.
awesome. I remember chatting to him a long time ago, and he told me he was going to play with the Prime Circle, and he laughed. Look at him now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
No.
shame. I mean, he said that many times. He did.
Listen, you need to tell Dale he must answer his phone calls because we just get WhatsApp saying, yeah, I'm busy because
I'll
I'd
be
like
back,
to
my
chat
brother.
to him. Yeah.
I'll be back, bro.
Fill the phone.
Because we wanted. Yeah.
We have an agenda that we draw up when we have our meetings,
Yeah.
and part of the agenda, you normally, when you're doing your Word document for the agenda for the meeting, you
Yeah.
have all your different points, but the one point about Dale, you got to start answering your phone, dude. That
Yeah.
we just leave it on there, it just stays there permanently, and then you just delete the rest and amend the.
And he's
But
just always been like that, dude. It's not a new thing. He's just that's
yeah,
the way he is. He's always been like that.
yeah, it's always
Yeah.
been like these horrible
Once,
websites.
man. Now, dude, you guys have traveled all over the world and jammed everywhere. What's your favorite country where you played at? Is it also Germany?
You know, I think Germany brings a lot of memories because we've done so many shows in Germany.
Yeah.
I couldn't even count how many shows we've done there. But every one of them has been different in a different way and been special in a different way.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I remember playing a show. I think it was in Austria, and it was midwinter. It was freezing, and we arrived in this most beautiful little town that you see in movies. With snow and mountains and beautiful, beautiful little place. And
Yeah.
I really didn't know where we were going to perform, and we were traveling with this huge, massive nightliner, and we
Yeah.
sort of went into what looked like to be a residential area, and this nightliner sort of stopped in the middle of the road, but very quiet, trees everywhere, beautiful place.
Yeah.
And that was our venue right over there, just in the middle of nowhere, this venue. And when we went into this venue, it almost looked like it could have been a house that was turned into this live venue. But it
Yes.
happened to be that this venue was actually a very well-known, established live venue, and
Yeah.
some greats have been through there and played at this venue.
Jammed
It's
it,
a
yeah.
very, very relaxed, sit-down kind of unplugged venue, which we didn't even know at the time. We were just ready to rock it out.
Yeah.
And we walked in, like, okay, well, you guys are going to sit there, and the crowd's going to sit here. And so we had to just reshuffle our whole set list to
Yeah.
accommodate this venue. But backstage at this venue, where the band was put, so if you want to call it backstage, but this
Yeah. The
area
green room.
had this the oldest Timpan bowling alley that you could
Yeah.
think of. I mean, they must have made this thing in the 60s. It was still
Yeah.
this weird kind of, like this wood and this beautiful, beautiful, but old, like rustic kind of place. But like I said, just in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere. And it's weird because out of all the shows that we've done and the thousands of people there and the things there,
Yeah.
and this one little venue just like sticks out for me. As you asked that question, it just pops in my head again. Beautiful little venue. It's just like I said, just everything about it was just so mystical. Just
Yeah.
it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The crowd was great that evening. As quick as the people came, they just vanished again directly after the show. And once again, it was just this little house standing there.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
Awesome.
So,
Take
awesome,
it to the
awesome.
nightline. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Words.
Now, Marco, with all this nonsense happening and so on, and the lockdown, it's obviously local South Africans are. That's the one thing about the South African crowd is if you are out of the limelight, not just the limelight, if people don't hear about you, will forget about you very quickly. That's one thing about South Africa I have noticed. You have to stay focused and you have to always be there and always do shows. And we're all doing these live stream things just to keep afloat and so on.
Keep a presence.
Um,
Yeah.
What are your guys' plans for afterwards? Have you got anything planned? Because the reason why I'm asked, it's a two-part question type statement type thing. What I'm trying to do is, I spoke to Mariska just before lockdown. We were busy building a brand new venue next to Winston's called Churchill's View. It's a 400-person venue where we're going to do corporate year-end functions and this and that, and it had a beautiful view of Northcliffe Copy and so on. And we were going to build a stage in the lot where we're going to have performances every Friday. If there was no corporate and so on, we were going to have band. I spoke to Mariska. She said, cool, she'll bring you. I don't know if she ever mentioned it to you, and bring Ross to come and check it out. Are you guys going to start doing, because I spoke to the Politones guys and they said yes, they want to do something like that, because obviously after lockdown we need to get everybody back into the public eye to remember, listen, Prime Circle is still there, this is still there, Chris is still there, I'm still here, we are still here, we want to party, this is what we do. So would you guys, are you guys going to do something like that, have a big concert,
I think
jam at venues, or what's the
it's a
plan?
very difficult question at a time like, I think at the moment, because it's an uncertainty. We just don't know when is that time going to actually become a reality. So many different opinions going around of when the social distancing thing will actually be back to normal again. So it's a very difficult question. But I mean, we're on the ball. We're waiting every day. We've got some dates pencil booked at venues around the country for later in the year, and we keep on sort of moving the goalpost every time the lockdown gets extended. We sort of shift those pencil bookings. but we definitely, once everything normalizes, we're going to be back in the saddle and back to performing again.
Yeah.
We've been one of the very few bands that sort of held back on the live streaming thing. I think it's also been a good time for us just to sort of find ourselves a bit, just find our, just enjoy the time away, enjoy the families, but it's getting to a point where we want to get back in things again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've done it, and like I say, we've given it some time, and we've now set a date for the live streaming show, which will be happening this month on the
Yeah.
20th of the month.
I'm going to actually bring it up for the people to see quickly
Yes,
on the
please.
screen. There we go. So, guys, this is the Prime Circle live stream concert. It will be on the 20th of June at 8 o'clock Central Africa time. Marco, where will the people be able to watch it? Is it going to be on Facebook, YouTube? What's the story?
I mean, you can purchase tickets directly through Facebook. You can purchase tickets through CompuTicket. And there's links all over our Facebook. Just go check out our Facebook while you're there. If you haven't liked it, like it.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's brought to you by Alpha Technologies and Bose. We're running an amazing competition with Bose. In fact, just to let you guys know, I'm just trying to get in all our stuff quickly while I can under the radar.
Well, what's up for grabs, man, with Bose?
So we get. I mean, Bose is come to the party. They're giving some amazing gear, quite valued at quite high way.
Okay.
So we're running some competitions where guys are just, it's actually quite crazy. We've had two of the members of Polytones have actually just messed around and they also entered, but it's very cool because it's just really a fun thing to do and just give us your rendition of how would you interpret a Prime Circle song. If you don't have to be a professional musician, you can be somebody just, dangles there's a couple of chords. Give us your interpretation of how you see the song and how you feel the song and what it does for you. And just use your home camera or whatever, your cell phone, and just send it to us. And it goes into the competition, into the draw. Exactly, Chris. There we go.
What?
Stand a chance at winning some really amazing stuff. Some studio gear, some great headphones, the first prize is a PA, an amazing Bose PA, which is absolutely.
I could do with one of those, man.
So we're getting guys to just go in and just jam away, and just show us what you got. And it's nobody's judging, and it's just a great thing. Just trying to get people to do some stuff during lockdown. And whilst we were having this competition, Bose and myself and Bose, the guys from Bose and Biodynamics, we're in the conversation about, well, maybe we should just try and take this one step further. And we decided to do a streaming show, and we found the right people to partner up with. And that's it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to, just do a great streaming show. So come and join us, guys. Just buy tickets, get as much tickets as you can now. They're super cheap, and come and join us.
So how are you guys? Sorry. How are you guys going to do it? Are you guys going to do it from home, or are you guys going to meet up somewhere, and then there will be cameras to broadcast it live? So you'll be on the stage or something.
Yeah. So we're actually going into a live studio.
Yeah.
We're getting Neil coming up from Derbs, and we're doing a full live broadcast.
Okay.
As if you were watching a live show. So
awesome.
We're gonna we'll try and create one of those like fake crowds that just it'll just make us feel like something's happening. Anytime we
Well, dude, are you guys gonna go? Are you guys going to go into a more, I don't know, acoustic feel because it's a bit more intimate and like a studio like that? Well, are we going to get like your just the normal
I guess we're just going to give it horns. I mean, first and foremost, I think we need to just learn our instruments before we get there because it's been so long now.
How much of that 800 Rand clip have you had to have forgotten your instrument?
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, we're just going to, I don't know, we haven't even decided how we're going to do it and what we're going to do, but we're just going to pretty much do what we do. And I think just rock it out and just play.
You know what? I think you guys have been jamming for so long that it'll be the most natural thing once you guys get together
like riding
again.
a bike.
Yeah, man. I'm sure you guys are just going to fall right into that groove and be the amazing Prime Circle that you are. You know what I mean?
Look, it's exciting. It'll be nice to be back with the guys again and playing the songs and doing our thing. Like I say, we've been seeing all these other bands playing, doing live streams, and it's been cool. It's been very, very cool. We've just decided to hold back until the right time, and the time is now. Level 3.
And
level 3, baby. Yeah.
You should have called it level 3 with Prime Circle or something. But anyways,
Yeah.
what are ticket prices?
Next level.
Ticket prices are 120,
Okay.
and which is probably about 50 or 20 or so euros, 20 cents
Yeah.
in euros.
Yeah, we actually have a couple
Yeah,
of international people
It's cheap, man.
watching and so on. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got quite a large fan base. That's but if you guys are watching, it's super cheap. So nothing for you guys.
Yeah.
Very cheap,
120 bucks
120
is
bucks.
cheap.
Yeah.
And then like I said, it's probably about an hour show, live studio, whole glam and lighting and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But it's going to be cool.
Well, you know
Yes,
what,
I
dude?
can't
I
wait
think
for
that
that.
that's what makes you guys different compared to other bands. You know, when you guys do a live show like that, streaming, you guys really have an international crowd of note. Like, I know
Yeah.
you've got a huge following worldwide, and like you guys have been representing South African sound for so long. I remember when we were chatting to Ross that half the people were either out of Germany or all these
We had Texas
exotic
as well.
countries. Yeah, Texas and all these places that were jumping in and like, hey, we miss you guys. I can't wait to check you. So I'm
Yeah.
sure they can't wait to check you guys live again as well, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be cool. You know, I think part of our travels has been meeting some amazing people. You know, we from all around the world, and so it's always lovely just to meet these people and just become friends.
Give a
with
little
them.
back
Yeah, give a little back and let them come and check us out.
one time, man.
No, that's absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to bring this up one more time for the guys, for you. Guys, 120 bucks. It's Prime Circle. We haven't seen them in a long time. I know I'm a huge fan. I know we work together a lot, and I try and act cool and everything as a agent and so on. But I dig your guys' music. I really do, and I will definitely be watching it that night.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Unless
Yeah, like-
20, I just need to make sure 20 June is a Saturday. We don't do interviews on Saturday, so
Yeah.
I'm in.
It's
So
the day
you in,
before
yeah.
my birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should have alcohol that you can sit at home and have a couple of drinks. So
Don't worry.
There's no excuses.
I've always got alcohol.
Well,
I've
dude, just for
always
interest
got
sake,
alcohol.
How long's the concert gonna be, or what songs can we expect? Like
Yeah,
stuff from all
probably
your
about
albums.
60 and 90 minute show.
Okay.
Pretty much all the songs. You know, one of the things when you're playing in all the shows, you can't sort of leave out from the very early songs right until with the current stuff of today. You can't leave anything out, and
Yeah.
so we'll be playing everything. Check it out.
Nice,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, brilliant. Check here. Chris says, very cheap. I paid 120 bucks for 2 packs of smoke. So, yeah. No, actually, let's not say it's cheap. I hate that. I hate that word cheap. Cheap is a horrible word. It's a very cost effective. There you go.
Yes.
Cost effective.
Accommodating. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
it's cost effective to help the people through this tough times to still get to see the powerhouse rock group, which is Prime Circle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. 120 bucks is nothing, and it's just I think we just want to get out there. We want to do our thing, and we just want to jam, and this is a good way to do it.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
out of
one.
all the songs that you guys have written, what's your favorite song to perform? Because I know it changes like through time. You
Yeah,
get
it's
songs
crazy,
that you love then.
It's weird because if I ever listen to Prime Circle music, in the car or whatever, there's some songs that I really enjoy listening to, but I despise jamming it. I just, every time we get, I'm just like, "Oh, I don't know, do we have to play the song?" But yet I love listening to it, and vice versa. There's other songs where I don't like listening to. I just don't like listening to it, but I love performing it. I absolutely love it. But, I mean, I love Ghost. There's just something about Ghost it's a great song, and I love jamming that song. In fact, a lot of the new stuff from the latest album. I mean, maybe because it is still quite fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
But I enjoy the new stuff. I really enjoy jamming, and if we can put more of the new stuff on the album, I mean, on the set list, I'm pretty.
And you know what? You guys have been produced by Denim. We had him on last week, and you know what? Since he's been jamming with you guys and working with you guys, you can definitely hear his flavor. He's got such a modern take on stuff and such an international feel. Although you guys have already had an international sound, he's just taken it and blown it up so much that it's, you guys, apart from being the best produced band probably in South Africa, hands down,
Thank you, man. Thank
You
you.
know what kind of energy do you guys get when you go into studio with a new producer? How does
Well,
it change your sound?
I think that's the thing. I don't think there's a bad producer. You know, if there's a
Yeah,
bad producer, you won't be working with him. You know, from the very beginning.
yeah,
All the producers up till today that we've worked with have been very
yeah.
good producers, but they're all very different.
Yes,
In different ways. You know, working with Theo Kraus, for argument's sake, Theo is a great producer, but he is by heart he's still a big rock and roll guy.
yeah,
So you know you could hear that came through more in the albums, and those albums that we had worked with him with were
yeah.
rock and roll albums, and some of our hottest albums, Jekyll and Hyde, and
Yes,
you could hear the flavor of the influence that he brought to the album.
yeah,
Then it's very different. But each producer has brought their own thing, and each producer has been really really cool to work with. I mean, we loved working with Denim, and he's a character on his own, and he's his own friend, a great friend of ours. So it's really really great. You know, really.
yeah,
Um, I don't think there's been anybody that we've worked with that we sort of haven't. You know, we're like, wow, this is a bit of a letdown. Everybody's been great in their own way. You know,
And
I
who were
remember
you guys recording with when you were recording at Gresham? Was it ZZ or?
there was a chap by the name of Ziggy, yeah, at the time.
Yeah,
Lovely guy, also lovely guy,
love him
and
too. Yeah,
also brought a different flavor. You know, and at that time in Prime Circle's space and time at that time, it worked. It was something that
yeah,
just worked for us back then, and it was early albums, and it worked. It was something that just so that's why I say if you could listen to all our albums up till today, everything sort of has its place. Everything lives
yeah.
somewhere. It's worked great for us. We really can't complain.
And do you think like your writing style? Because honestly, as a guy from a listening aspect, I've heard how you guys have grown writing wise, and do you find that you write songs naturally with way more stuff or underlying? I don't know. How do you say this? Is it easier for you to write bigger albums? You know what I mean?
I think the pressure becomes a bit more. You get used to. You can become very stagnated writing in a certain style.
Yeah,
The pressures do become more when you're writing newer albums. You got to try and keep with current and try and keep with what's happening and try and so it becomes more difficult. But I think you've also got to become more open-minded. Working with different producers that's going to bring a flavor that we're currently working with a producer based in Germany,
yeah.
and he's bringing stuff to the table that's really pushing us outside of our comfort zones, but
Okay.
something that it really could work and it really can work. We just got to be open-minded to it, and maybe the same Prime Circle of 10 years ago we wouldn't have. We would have just rejected something like that and said it's not for us. But I think that's very important, is who you're working with, and just besides not only who you're working with, but as a band, you have to be open-minded
Yeah.
to where the world is of music, and you've got to try and stay fresh
Adapt
and stay
to it.
relevant.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's very important, and I think that's how we're very hard on ourselves when we write music. We write something and it's like, okay, that sounds a bit dated, or that sounds a bit this.
Yeah.
And try and add a bit of a arpeggiated sound that's going to try and bring it more into today's time. And
Yeah.
you try and think like that all the time, but you have to, I guess, when you in the public eye, you're as good as your last single.
Absolutely.
You got to
Now, dude,
constantly.
apparently Ross is a great rapper, and this is one thing I forgot to ask him about the last time we were like chatting. Is he's a phenomenal rapper. I've heard him spit some stuff, backstage and shit. And I've wondered, you know what? Would you guys ever consider just putting it like a? Remember on old CDs you had a hidden track or something with him just freaking nailing some lyrics down there.
I don't know about rap. It's interesting, but I mean, again, like I'm just, we're open-minded to everything. So
Yeah.
if it's something that presents itself for a song, I'm definitely keen on doing it. Look, Ross is in general. He's just such a great musician. He's got music through his blood constantly.
Oh, yeah.
And I've worked with many musicians over the years, and as a vocalist and songwriter,
Yeah.
you'll be writing music and he will just spit out 10 melodies in a row, and each one is
Yeah.
as good as the next one. He's a great musician. So I think anything comes a bit natural to him, whether he's rapping or just generally writing music.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you see, that's where you said at the beginning of the show is that Prime Circle is such a well organized machine that everybody has their part in the band. It's not just like there's one guy, he does everything. If he leaves, the band falls apart. This is Prime
It's
Circle.
all the flavors that come together, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys.
100%. I think we are good, and I think we're just like every other band out there. No matter how big you are, and you watch these documentaries and you watch these films on bands, and everybody have their disagreements, and everybody has their times to shine, and everybody, so
Yeah.
we know different to any other band. We love each other one day, we hate each other the next, we have a beer, and it's all over, and life goes on.
It's
But
family.
We
Yeah,
family.
it's a
We've been together
relationship,
for
yeah.
20 years, and we've been living in each other's spaces for 20 years. We've been on the road for 20 years. I think this is the longest we've actually been not only apart from each other, but just not performing.
Yes.
Since lockdown has happened, we've been we constantly with each other, constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to know each other very well, and lovely bunch of guys. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you know what? That's the recipe for success. If you look at all the bands, like, dude, even the Rolling Stones, when they still travel together and stuff, well, okay, they do it in super class, let's be honest. But, those guys have also been around each other for freaking yonks.
Ever.
Yeah, especially the Stones. They've got cockroaches in their band. Those guys just can't die. And
If Keith Richards die, we all die.
yeah, if he's gone, the world's going to collapse. But, fuck, where was I? With bands like that, you kind of see where they've gone through everything. It's like a wedding or a relationship, man, with the chick that you've been with forever. You've gone through all the fights. You've gone through the good times and the bad times and the tough times and everything. And I think this is just another phase. And you know what? You guys are so freaking awesome, man. You guys have, I know you're going to rise to the occasion again and just bring us more amazing music, more Prime Circle. You guys have become, you know what, your music gets guys through stuff. I know I've been at weddings where they jam your music and stuff for like a first dance or even for the wedding. And, your guys' music, it's part of South Africa.
Yeah.
whether
you like it or not, Prime Circle is part of the backbone of South African music. I
think that's what we've always wanted to achieve and become part of South African history, and be a part of a culture. Where the people talk about music, and Prime Circle's name is mentioned amongst the greats, which we have some amazing talent in this country.
Yeah.
But, it's been it has been an amazing journey, and I'll never crit it, and I'm very grateful for it, and it's been great, man. It's been great.
Well, Marco, we want to just say a big thank you for joining us. It's been really so cool. We love the band. I'm gonna bring up the thing again for you guys one more time before we say goodnight. Guys, catch Prime Circle on the 20th of June
2020. That's the day before the solar eclipse. So you can have an awesome show the night before and see stars, real stars, like Prime Circle, and then the next day you can you can watch the biggest star disappear. So that's pretty cool.
So grab your tickets, $120, cost-effective. Bose and Alpha Technologies is bringing you one of the powerhouses, and I can't wait. Like I said earlier, I really cannot wait for this. It's just. I'm super excited. Huge
I'm going to write
fan.
in
And
for
again,
that competition. I must be honest. You know what?
Yeah.
Tell the boys at Bose they better get ready. I'll send
Chris
you my
is
address
apart.
along. I want that PA, brother. I really want to. Plus, I love your music. It's going to be easy for me to just really relate to any of your songs and stuff.
Thank you so much, man.
I'm definitely going to do that. And once again, thank you for giving us your time. Thank you for starting one of the greatest freaking South African bands that really touches our souls. And for believing in yourselves for so long, man.
And
Fucking hell.
Slicky.
Slucky, Masakanes. I wear my brother. Cheers, man.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.
Oh, freaking awesome. Oh, dude. Okay, nou kan ek nie wag vir daai show nie. That should be a phenomenal show. Ons is nie eens besig nie. Ons kan daai show check.
Ek het 'n fucking 60 duim TV. Ek weet dit lyk nie so op die fucking skerm nie, maar moerse sound, fucking alles. Ek kan nie wag nie. Ek is regtig. Prime Circle is my favorite fucking rock band in Suid-Afrika. Ek is mal oor hulle musiek. Ek speel hulle musiek in die kar. Elke keer as ek saam met hulle werk, is ek ek weet nie hoe om dit te verduidelik nie, want ek is hulle ouderdom. We all the exact same age,
Yeah.
and I can get giddish, or if you want to say it like that.
Yeah.
But they are really that cool. I really do love the guys. I've worked with them now for 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm
Dude,
so
I know
fucking
exactly
glad we
what
had
you
them.
mean. You know what happens is with other bands you get used to the dudes. It's one of your brothers.
Oh,
But with Prime
fuck.
Circle, every time you see Prime Circle, you go like,
I forgot to mention that I've got the old school.
you've got a Prime Circle tattoo. Oh my God, yeah.
I forgot to mention it to him.
Shut.
It's just
Okay.
It's just that this. If you're on my arm, you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You see, you've got the Rolling Stones, you've got Nirvana, Rammstein, AC/DC, Metallica, Kiss, Queen, the Beatles. They're all here. Flippin' Iron Maiden. If you're on my arm, and my arms aren't done yet. I've got so much space, but this lockdown messed everything up.
Plus, there's not more like pretty amazing bands to put on there. Now
Yes.
the guys have got to work to get inked on what is arms.
Yeah, the more famous we get with this SA Bros, the bands must fight and say, listen, please, we'll pay to have our logo inked onto your body. How's
That's
that?
prime freaking space, dude. Ouens besef nie hoe groot is jy nie.
Yeah.
What is one arm is as big as my whole leg. So fucking that is prime advertising space. Let me tell you guys,
Now,
man.
guys.
Yes. Now.
Thank you so much again for today. You guys, we went out. I want to give a big shout out for Liz. She actually woke me up this morning at 4:30 and said she had this fucking brilliant idea.
Yes.
And I was half asleep, so I didn't click immediately. And then by 5 o'clock, I'm like, fuck, this is a brilliant idea. And I wanted to phone Chris at 5 o'clock to say, fuck, we need to do this. But I
Thank
let
you
him
for not
sleep.
doing that.
At 7 o'clock, I said, no, screw this. And I woke you up. I said, we need to go. We jumped in our cars and we went to go record this. Mag ek dit gou speel?
Ja,
Vir die mense
jam
wat
on,
dit nog
dude.
nie gesien het. Guys, I'm going to quickly play this and then we'll go through the lineup for the week and what we're doing
Yes.
tomorrow. Woo, ek kan nie wag vir môre nie. So, let's get the screen up. Turn your volume up and watch this video, guys. Chris, set your mic off now.
Oh my God. Okay.
Here we go.
Come on, guy.
Dit vat 'n bietjie lank. So. Anyways, hoe gaan dit met jou? Here we go.
Lekker my brothers.
My fellow compatriots, today, 1 June, 1st of June, you can drink, but you cannot smoke. You must not smoke, but you can drink.
Right, guys, it's Whitey from SA Bros and Chris with me. We're at Macro now to see how long this gigantic queue is for the booze. So check it out.
Doors. It's the 1st of June, almal soek 'n slukkie, staan in 'n ry vir 'n lang rukkie vir 'n dop. Vanaan Suid-Afrika gevolg. Mama Zuma sê, ek gryp vir jou 'n stukkie, almal staan in rye, net vir 'n slukkie vanaand. Suid-Afrika gaan brand. En daar is groot drome vir almal wat wil hê, 'n brandewyn, 'n bier en 'n whisky cave. Ek kry vir jou 'n doppie, maar het moet nie fucking rookie. Almal hou van syp, maar niemand hou reg van stookie vanaand. Suid-Afrika gaan brand. Kry vir jou 'n slukkie van jou broer op die hoere. Almal fucking hard, ons arme boere vanaand. Suid-Afrika gaan brand. Maar dis 'n groot droom vir almal hier. Ek kry vir jou 'n slukkie brand, asof 'n koue bier. The 1st of June. They say bros. Yeah. Nice. Well, dudes, go and check out the video. Go and like it for us, man. If you guys haven't liked it yet, ek weet almal wat nou saam met ons gekyk het, you guys have liked it already. And once again, thank you guys for all your support. We are almost close to our 4,000 number now. And you know what? You guys are making it easier and easier every day. We've got a special, apart from the lineup this week.
Let's go through the lineup first before we go what we're doing tomorrow.
Let's do that.
So this is the lineup, guys. We said at the beginning of the show, what about, look at that. Marco Gomes that we had tonight, Prime Circle. Yes. Tomorrow, Khan and Neil from the Parlor Tones. Wednesday night. And all these bands are rock and roll fucking gods in South African music. And then Thursday, the best night of the week where we chat to you guys. And then the kingpin of fucking rave music South and doof music. Bump DJ legend, Mr. DJ Costa. Huh? Guys, what a lineup of music do you have this week that we organized for you guys? Huh?
Once, man. And apart from that amazing lineup, tomorrow, ek het gehoor, Sarah, sy gaan vir
ons het daai beach gevang.
Ja, ons het al gevang. We sent a camera crew through to Katu because she's visiting a boyfriend there. And she's going to be making us a special music video that I can't wait to share with you guys. Yes. It's going to be epic. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. But you know what, once again...
Will probably be released on Wednesday. Lunchtime after
show
lunch.
That video, straight out. So stick around this week for this lineup. We are going to bring out more epic videos and stuff and more fun stuff for you guys. In the same time, now that dope's legal for now, maybe you should stock up. Ja, hoop kakpapier koop vir dope.
Jy gaan vir jou hol af op die gras.
Ja, fucking. Doen dit dronk asseblief.
Julle het tuinslange, spuit die poefies af.
But you know what? Thanks a lot for your guys' support. We couldn't do this without you. We love you more than friends. And you guys have been around since the beginning. Thank you so much, man. And keep liking and subscribing our channel. And sharing our stuff.
Liking and sharing. Hierso van die kant
af. That one.
Liking and julle moet like, julle moet subscribe, anders kan ons nie hierdie kak maak nie. So
asseblief.
So guys, we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Fucking Neil and Khan from the Parlor Tones. Yay. Yes.
And once again, thank you, Marco, for an amazing evening. We love you guys. Salute.
See you tomorrow. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, goodbye, everybody.